5 News at Noon starts now.
Right now at noon, the government shutdown enters its third week with no end in sight. The Senate votes again today as thousands of federal workers face layoffs. Plus, Springdale has a new senior center with more space and activities for older adults. We'll show you what's inside. But first, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us here for your 5 News at Noon. I'm Tiffany Lee here with Danny Cassidy.
Hello.
Now, Danny, it's a little warm out there right now, but hey, it's not too bad. It's kind of feeling like a nice fall day.
Yeah, I feel like a nice fall day. It is a little bit warmer than we'd expect, but really this whole October has been pretty warm, so that hasn't really changed very much. So we'll show you what's going on here across the region. We're seeing plenty of blue sky. A few thin clouds are starting to move in, but otherwise, again, you can see temperatures in the 70s. You can see 81 there in Poto. And yeah, those thin clouds will continue to build throughout the afternoon, but still, as Tiffany mentioned, it is going to be a very nice day out there. And certainly not feeling like fall. Temperatures you can see in the 70s pretty much area-wide, except for Poto that was at 81 degrees. Again, we should be here really for daytime highs, and well, we've already hit it at noon, but that's beside the fact. Now, right now you're seeing a little bit of that thin cloud cover building in from southwest to northeast. That'll continue to climb southwest and northeast throughout the day today, or throughout the afternoon into the evening, and it's going to be harmless. And it's not going to bring any rainfall, at least for today, and even tomorrow. That chance to be more of a drizzle, so not anticipating any impactful rain. The temperatures will drop off into the low to mid 60s for us tonight. For northwest Arkansas, we'll top off in the low 80s. For the River Valley, will be in the mid 80s, and again, eventually see those temperatures drop into the upper 60s by later tonight into early tomorrow. Now, of course, the big story is going to be the potential for severe weather on Saturday as that cold front swings through. After that cold front swings through, it'll feel much more like fall, not only just for a day or two, but it looks like for much of next week minus Monday. So we'll talk about that, but more importantly, again, that severe weather potential coming up in your full forecast. Tiffany.
All right, thanks for that, Danny. Well, the government shutdown is now entering its third week, and lawmakers are still deadlocked. The Senate is voting again today on a bill to reopen federal agencies as thousands of workers face possible layoffs. The Senate returned to the floor for a 10th attempt, but once again failed to advance a GOP funding measure to end the shutdown. Neither side is showing signs of compromise. Republicans want a short-term extension, while Democrats insist on long-term funding and policy talks. The stalemate is taking a toll on federal workers as a judge temporarily blocked the administration from firing employees during the shutdown.
The Trump shutdown drags on because Republicans refuse to work with or even negotiate with Democrats in a serious way to fix the health care crisis in America.
Republican leaders plan another vote this afternoon to fund the military, but with the partisan divide still deep, there's no clear end to the shutdown in sight. Well, here at home, the impacts of the government shutdown continue to be felt. 100 employees at the biggest airport in Arkansas have continued to work without pay since the 1st. But local businesses are stepping up with the Clinton Airport to help give meals to those still working. Local restaurants are providing breakfast and lunch to federal employees at the airport starting on Friday. The airport says more than 20 restaurants have stepped up, and next week's schedule is already full. Little Rock City Director and Trio's owner, Cappy Peck, is helping lead the effort to keep meals coming, a way she says to thank the employees who keep things running behind the scenes.
During the government shutdown, during these challenging times, we will answer the call and we will help.
Peg says the food bank will be at the airport for a food distribution event for federal employees starting Friday from 11 to 1. Employees will also be able to take food to go and receive additional help from the Arkansas Food Bank. We're learning escaped inmate Grant Hardin will not face a jury until next year. Convicted murderer and rapist Grant Hardin escaped from the North Central Unit in Calico Rock in May. He was set to appear in court next week, but that was pushed back to December. His jury trial was also set for next month, but is now pushed to February. You can stay with us here at 5 News as we bring you the latest updates on this case. And construction on the addition to the Washington County Jail is now 60% completed. Leaders say the expansion is improving public safety. The project, dubbed the COVID Mitigation Project, is attempting to bring more efficient operations to the jail. It will be able to house more inmates and give the jail a better booking process. The extension is also meant to help separate the sick to prevent further spread and give the medical team more room. Deacon said no tax money from Washington County was used for the project and instead came from federal COVID relief funding. Well, Sallisaw Public Schools say that it's investigating an incident that happened during a game at recess on Tuesday. The school superintendent tells us it happened at Eastside Elementary. However, he didn't go into detail because it's an active investigation and involves kids. 5 News has gotten several messages from concerned parents. Right now, we're working to confirm exactly what's being investigated and what agencies are involved. Superintendent Steve Barrett says that the school district has followed all protocols, including bringing in outside entities to help investigate. Barrett also says any long-term suspensions will happen after the investigation is complete. 5 News also reached out to Sallisaw Police Chief Terry Franklin, who referred us to school police. We also reached out to District 27 Attorney Jack Thorpe, who did not share any information. Oklahoma's appointed state superintendent is putting a stop to the plan for Bibles to be placed in Oklahoma classrooms. It's one of several initiatives launched by former state superintendent Ryan Walters that Lindell Fields says that he's reversing. Fields said that his plan includes filing a motion to dismiss an ongoing legal battle over the issue and has no plans to distribute Bibles or a biblical character education curriculum in classrooms. The Oklahoma Supreme Court ordered Fields to determine if the classroom Bible mandate would continue under his leadership. OSDE is reviewing all prior mandates and says the board's top priority is a full budget review. Well, there's a new place in Springdale where seniors can come together, not just to share a meal, but to build community and connection. Northwest Arkansas continues to grow, and so does its senior population. The director of the Springdale Senior Center says that their old space just wasn't cutting it anymore, and they needed a new building that would fit the needs of the community. The footage shows the old senior center, which Director Lori Proud says was simply out of space. The previous building was over 70 years old and just 20,000 square feet. Now, thanks to a $14 million bond project, the new facility is twice as large, featuring a fitness room, indoor pickleball courts, a library, TV and gaming rooms, a state-of-the-art commercial kitchen, a hair salon, and much more. Proud says that Springdale is leading the way in honoring those who have spent their lives paying taxes to the city, and that the new center provides important health and mental wellness benefits for seniors. She says the center is one of a kind in the region and sets an example for other communities to follow.
There's nothing that we have ever seen in the region like this. So we are fortunate to live in a city that they care about the seniors, and the mayor and chief of staff said that this is their give back to the senior population for the taxes that they have paid over the years. So it's a true blessing.
Seniors in the area are welcome to come by, get a tour, and join if they would like. The center offers daily transport for those nearby. Well, we're learning the city of Springdale just approved a key funding measure to support Arkansas Children's Northwest. The new funding measure will award $42 million in bonds to help finance an $83 million expansion at Children's Northwest. The project adds 15 inpatient beds, 2 operating rooms, and nearly 50,000 square feet for future growth. The city says the hospital and its partners will repay the bond, so taxpayers won't be responsible. In the Middle East, the ceasefire in Gaza is still holding. Hamas has returned the bodies of 2 more Israeli hostages, while Israel has returned dozens of Palestinian bodies. New video shows the staggering destruction in Gaza, and the exchanges are raising new tensions on both sides. The Israeli soldier captain was laid to rest after his body was returned from Gaza, more than 2 years after he was killed fighting Hamas on October 7th. Families of the fallen say that the returns bring fresh pain, even as they offer some closure. To date, Hamas has returned just 9 bodies. But U.S. officials say the scale of destruction in Gaza has made finding others almost impossible. Officials say talks to recover more bodies are continuing, but with much of Gaza in ruins, they warn that the process could take months. Well, the Trump administration is ramping up pressure on Venezuela with some of the most aggressive moves against a nearby nation in more than 40 years. U.S. strikes have sunk 5 boats that the U.S. says were from Venezuela. Officials claim that they were carrying drugs, though there's no firm evidence of that. Now, President Trump says that he told the CIA to start operating inside Venezuela. Lisa Zhang is at the White House with more.
Hosting a dinner last night, President Trump joked about going fishing off the coast of Venezuela. In recent weeks, his administration has announced 5 strikes on boats off its coast, killing 27 people.
We had a lot of drugs coming in by water, and that stopped. In fact, nobody wants to go fishing in.
Earlier Earlier in the Oval Office, Trump told CBS News' Ed O'Keefe he authorized the CIA to get involved due to a flood of drugs from Venezuela and criminals.
Why did you authorize the CIA to go into Venezuela?
I authorized for two reasons, really. Number one, they have emptied their prisons into the United States of America.
While hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans have come legally and illegally to the United States in recent years, there is no evidence they've come out of prisons. In Caracas, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro responded, saying there would be no regime change or CIA-orchestrated coup.
En Sudamérica, no, not war. Just peace.
The U.S. military has added about 10,000 troops in the Caribbean, including 2,000 Marines aboard the USS Iwo Jima. Trump warned it could launch strikes on land.
We are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control.
The administration recently notified members of Congress the U.S. is in a non-international armed conflict with drug cartels. Democrats warn the strikes risk getting the U.S. into a full-fledged war. And Senator Bernie Sanders said the president needs authority to go to war from Congress.
The president is acting unilaterally in violation of the Constitution. That's a pretty big deal.
In August, the administration offered a $50 million reward for information leading to Maduro's arrest, linking him to a Venezuelan drug cartel. Asked if the CIA is authorized to take Maduro out, President Trump said it would be ridiculous for him to answer that question, and he added he believes Venezuela is feeling the heat. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.